Hola and hello, it's Ashley Shantae. I am in the car about to leave my appointment. It was my ultrasound and lab work, and this is my first one since I've been taking the stems. So it sounds like a good report. She didn't tell me how many follicles they saw, but she did say on the left side, looks like they were at about a 13, and then the ones on the right side were halfway there at about an 8. So I was like, so it should be at least the 16. And she said, yeah, that's what they look for. Is the go-to number. So out of 16, I have some that are at 13 and some that are at 8, and of course I still have several more days of injections, and then I start taking another injection I think tomorrow, ganirelix. So I'll definitely keep you all posted, but I mean, from what I know, sounds like good news. So okay, so plot twist. Anyway, I'm just thinking, good report so far. I guess the injection stems are stimulating what they need to stimulate to get the follicles to grow. So I come home. The facility that I go to, it's about I'll say 50-minute drive, give or take 5 to 8 minutes that could be added or subtracted depending on traffic. So I've been home for maybe 2 hours, and I get a call from the facility, and she's like, yeah, I just wanted to let you know we want you to go ahead and start your ganirelix tonight. Well, I'm scheduled to start per my protocol sheet, instruction sheet. I was actually scheduled to start the ganirelix on tomorrow. I'm doing my injection at 12 o'clock. So that's gonna be a new injection for me, but she's like, no, we want you to. So I'm like, is something wrong that I should start taking it right away? And she's like, I recall her exact words, but it was somewhere along those lines that I'm progressing more than what they anticipated. So they wanted me to go ahead and start the ganirelix injection tonight, and then start, per my regular schedule, as far as do it again tomorrow at 12, and then just be consistent with taking that particular injection at 12 o'clock. So she's like, do you recall how to do the injection as far as the setup and everything? And I'm just like, well, I took some notes. I don't have them right in front of me right now. I said, but because I had my educational instruction training probably like a week and a half to 2 weeks before I actually started my stems. So she kind of, told me verbally what I need to do, and she's like, use the long needle. Well, I don't know if you watched, I think it was my third YouTube video that I put up talking about my first day stems. I never got a long needle, and so I had figured out, because the Menopur comes with Q caps, and I remember in the educational training she was like, I'm showing you how to use the long needle to do this. You can just do it this way. They will come with Q caps, but you won't need those because you can just do it this way, and you can just throw those out if you want to, so it won't confuse you. So and sometimes I feel like this is like a God thing, because at first I was like, I saw the Q caps, I'm like, I'm gonna throw these away, but something just said, no, hold on to them. So anyway, come to find out, it's time to take this medicine. Didn't have the long needle, but I had the Q caps, and so I'm like, oh, well, I remember her saying that's an alternate way. So when husband has been mixing up my medication, he's been using, because I had found a video on how to use the Q cap, so he had been using that. So when she said that, and I'm so glad that she asked me about the long needle, because I told her, I said, well, the pharmacy that shipped my medicine, they never gave me a long needle, so we've been using the Q cap to do my injection. She was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, the Q cap can be a little bit easier for some people, but that's fine for the Menopur. But with the ganirelix, you have to have the long to mix. The long needle is not the one that I'm injecting in me, but it is needed to, I don't know, formulate the medicine or whatever. I don't know. So anyway, I'm like, well, I don't have the long needle. Like, what should I do? And she's like, well, who's your local pharmacy? And I'm like, well, you know, for non IVF medicines, I usually use CVS. And so she's like, well, let me see if they'll let me call you some in. You know, it's a pharmacy, they should have some. But if they give you a hard time, and I was like, well, can I just come back? And she was like, well, yeah, you can come back, but they close at 4. And by this point, it's like I said, like 2 something, I don't know, maybe 2:40 or something like that. And like I said, this, like, depending on traffic, can take me almost 50 minutes to get there. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm starting to freak out. But she ended up calling them in to the CVS. I went, I just had to, you know, pay them out of pocket. They were like, I don't know, 20 cents a piece per needle. So I paid like $1.16 per, with tax. But I got the needle, so when husband gets home, I'll be able to go ahead and have him mix that up, and then I can do my ganirelix injection starting tonight. So it's a little bit nerve-wracking because it's like, okay, like, I've been taking the 2 injections, now here comes a 3rd one. Like, what can we expect from this one? So I just hope it doesn't burn or isn't extremely painful, but you know, we're doing what we got to do nowadays to get what we want. You know, big picture in mind. So it is what it is. Whatever that feels like, it is what it is. So anyway, that's, oh, and I was just gonna give you an update because she did in the portal, and I took some notes here if you see me looking down. So in the portal, she gave me more information about my ultrasound and my follicles. So again, what the lady at the ultrasound that was doing the ultrasound told me is that they were looking for them to be at least at a 16, and I think this is millimeter. I'm not sure, it's mm. I'm assuming that's millimeter. So what she posted in the portal is that there is 1 10 millimeter. They saw 1 11 millimeter. There was 4 12 millimeters, and then 2 13 millimeters, and then there are some small ones still growing. So again, the reason why they wanted me to go ahead and take the ganirelix is because I guess, you know, the growth rate is I guess exceeding what they anticipated. So I can go ahead and start that medication now as opposed to waiting. So I mean, I'm super excited about all good news, and I hope those smaller ones grow, because I would like, when the egg retrieval time comes, to have more than, let's see, this is 4 5 6 7 8, but you know, all of those are really close to that 16 number, so we'll see. But that's my update. And oh, last thing, so while I was in the IVF center, there's a lady there that I was talking to. She came in like right after me. We actually kind of walked in together, and so we checked in, and she was asking a question about the men up here. So I was just like, I asked her, I was like, oh, this side effect that I'm having, I haven't heard anybody else say that they've experienced this side effect. So have you experienced that? And she's like, no, I've experienced this side effect and this side effect. And again, so this is a stay tuned type of thing. Like, please watch my next video that I'm gonna post really soon here, because I will be talking about side effects. But that's just like, you know, something to say that, you know, all of our bodies are different. Even, I will say this, even the burning sensation that I feel, she's like, it doesn't really burn for me. And I'm like, what? Like, what? Like, at least on 2 occasions, that menopause almost brought me to tears. And I have a low pain tolerance, but you know, it's just to see other people going through what you're going through. It just gives you a sense of comfort because there's so many, I mean, you just don't hear about it other than, you know, like in this community until it happens to you and you have to actually be the one that's going through this process. So it just brought me a little bit of comfort to just kind of chit chat with her about. And I think she started her stems or injections a day before I started mine. But we're having 2 totally different, you know, experiences. So anyway, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'm so excited to have you come along on this journey with me. Okay, this is day 4 p.m. I'm gonna do my gauntlet F. So, yeah, this next shot is what I talked about earlier, that they're starting me a day early. I was scheduled to take the ganirelix starting tomorrow at 12, but based on my ultrasound results from today, they were like, we see a lot of growth and we want to go ahead and start you on the ganirelix tonight. So I'm not sure what to anticipate on this one. I'm a little anxious about it, but let's just get it over with.
Clap. Clap again.
They should have sent me some gauze, but they didn't.
You didn't ask for them when you was there?
Send it. I don't know, how was I supposed to know to ask for them? I think that's too low. I think that's good.
Spouse it by the inch.
Huh?
Go over this a little bit. Yeah, right, that's fine.
This is the ganirelix. I think this is the longest needle that I have so far.
No.
That is, it's longer than the other 2.
No.
Okay.
It's just a little thicker. Don't go where you ain't wiping no alcohol in now.
I think I need to switch to the other side
Yeah.
because both of those injection sites that I just did, they won't stop bleeding. Like my heart is beating so fast. Did you make the needle cry?
Baby, it already cried.
When? So they say you're supposed to make the needle cry with every injection and like get one drop to come out. So
Ain't you, Ashley? With a thicker needle, you gotta pinch. Was it burning?
it burns it, it hurts. I think I need to sit down.
You know what we do?
Won't you?